Hello, hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. In the last episode, we arrived at the sanatorium ready to track down the leaden key. We have, yep, there we go, the head warden says you can go in. Be careful in there. Ooh, I am. These are the wards. Revolting. This is where the sick are supposed to recover. I've seen animal pens more hospitable than this place. But what the Hi. I'm like, we can talk to him. We can talk to him. The construct turns its head towards you and watches you warily. Okay. A curved spine twists this woman's posture forward, her greasy hair draped over her large eyes like vines. She smiles at you. You must be visiting someone. Then, noting your appearance, she adds, a friendly visit, I hope. What do you know about this animancer, Azo? Do you know where I might find Azo? Have any of the patients here been acting unusually? Why are you in here? Farewell. Ximena's a nosy bitch. Why are you in here? Okay. Behind her eyes, her cheeks flush. I don't want to say, you'll think less of me. I'm listening. I won't worry about that. Clever. When you blush, it brings out the colour of your eyes. Passionate. You can tell me I'm going crazy too. It feels wrong to flirt with this lady. Not because she's not worthy of love, but it feels like, oh, I don't want to tell you. I'ma call you sexy so I can get information. Like, that just feels scummy. That feels scummy to me. I'm listening. These last few years haven't been kind to me. They haven't been kind to anyone, really. I try not to think of it as personal. I lost my husband and both boys in the Saints' War. My daughter, the legacy took her before she was ever mine. I made do. What else can you do? I moved into a tiny place in Andra's gift. Got by mending clothes and on the kindness of strangers when I had to. But I was surviving and the gods were watching over me. I could live with that. Then, one day, this noblewoman comes in, wants this fancy gown fixed. Gorgeous thing, the shade of blue I'd never seen before. Only I had. I looked at it and it reminded me of something. I had what they call an awakening. I remembered being a noblewoman myself in another life. People doting over me. Men doting over me. Me. The best food, the most beautiful home, all the things you'd never dare to dream of. They were mine. It was poison, knowing that. All those things I had that I'll never have in this life. It did something to me. My food started to taste rotten. The walls in my little room seemed to close in around me. I stopped being able to sleep in my own bed. So I came here. It was that or break into an estate and start ordering servants round. It seems like such a silly thing to worry about. You don't have to tell me, but I can't get past it. And I start to wonder, did the gods choose this life for me? And if so, what terrible thing must I have done to deserve it? Let's talk about something else. Maybe you'll get there again one day. If not in this life, then in another. Diplomatic. Maybe the gods took offence to your overindulgence. Passionate. Nobody deserves to go through what you've gone through. Passionate. You had it right before. There's nothing to do but live with it. This is just... Like, I don't think there's any rhyme or reason. I don't think there's any rhyme or reason. It's not that the gods took offence to her overindulgence. Like, these things just happen. And saying, like, oh, well, like, if like, in the next life you might have a better one, how does that help her? All it does is encourage her to kill herself so that she'll get to that next life quicker. But she won't even be aware of it because she'll be dead. Like... Yeah, I'm drawn to this. Like, this is speaking to Ximena. This is speaking to Ximena. Nobody deserves to go through what you've gone through. I hope not. But I can't even imagine the monster who deserves what half the patients here have to... Oh, so I was like, what does she mean by this? No, I get it. My brain took a minute to catch up. I hope not. I can't even imagine the monster who deserves what half the patients here go through every day. Have any of the patients here been acting unusually? Well, there's Batixa, who relives a murder she committed more than 5 lifetimes ago. Idleman, who says they only have half a soul and who was found collecting the faces of others because he believed his own to be a false one. Gran, he speaks in a language no one understands and wails at night sometimes. Different from their normal behaviour, I mean. Well, yes, I suppose, but nothing they didn't volunteer for. Master Azo let us know that a number of patients in the North Ward had volunteered for a new therapy and would be escorted to his laboratory to receive treatment. The North Ward has our most troubled cases. I'm glad some of them have chosen to get help. It seems to me it's gotten quieter over there since it started. It's Graham I see them taking in the most. He struggles, but he always has a bit of a wild one. What do you know about this Animancer Azo? Oh, I like him very much. Many of the Animancers could care less about their patients, look at us like vermin for their experiments. But Master Azo treats us like humans, even the very sick. You can tell he does this to help people. He helped me understand a great deal about myself, and I know he's done the same for the others. It's too bad what they did to him. He hides it well, but I know he's still affected by it. Ooh, pardon. What happened to Azo? Fayrol's eyes dart back and forth, and her voice lowers to just above a whisper. They don't like to talk about it, but there was an accident. He was said to be one of the brightest in Deerwood. That was his reputation here, and that was what brought me to seek treatment. People say it was ego that drove him to try and solve the legacy, but that's hogwash, even if he was a bit of a showman. He loves his homeland. He thought he could help. He wasn't one to speak of his work, suspected his colleagues might have tried to steal it. But he told me once that he had figured out a way to create a soul. Not a soul exactly, mind you. How did he put it? A proxy, I think he called it. Had some machine that drew energy out of the very ether. Can you imagine? The point is, it was going to help with the legacy. It was going to make Hollowborn into something easier to love and care for. Gods know that's something we need. Do you know what they call those empty little babies in Andra's gift? No, tell me if you could. No, tell me. They call them buoys, because so many of them are found floating face down in the water. These are mad times, Jesus Christ. Anyway, Master Azo had scheduled a public demonstration of his work in Copper Lane. He was so excited. And then the next day he was locked in his office, turning away visitors, I heard. And he stopped seeing patients. I don't know exactly what's happened, and I don't have the heart to ask him. But I'm glad they're letting him treat people again. Do you know where I might find Azo? I think I've seen him around today. Have you checked the laboratory? It shares a wall with his office. He's been spending most of his time there lately. Would I be able to visit the North Ward? They like to keep them separate. I don't think that I've ever seen the guards allow a visitor. Just Master Azo. You might ask him. He's very sympathetic. Farewell. Okay.
Hey there.
This is... Oh, don't mind if I do. Thank you. So we've... Okay. Here's what I'm thinking. We've seen evidence that the Lenki are shifting souls, probably to here. They were shifting souls to Defiance Bay, to the machine that holds souls steady. Why they would want that, I'm not entirely sure. I fully admit that, I'm not entirely sure. I'm thinking, could the machine... Maybe it wasn't pulling from the ether, maybe it was pulling from the souls that are being redirected by the machines. And obviously the Lenki are like, we can't have that because he's nicking our souls. So, sabotage and let's fuck him up. That's my gut instinct. Crooked chalk tally marks cover the surface of this table. The crooked boards show deep gouge marks. They're spaced like folk or elven fingernails. Oof. Big oof. And now I find myself just... I need to explore everywhere. Hello? Are you okay? No speak. Okay. Okay, darling. I'ma just leave you be. I assume that's probably gonna... Yeah, okay, that's all gonna connect. Ooh. Keep your distance. Wick's in that cell back there. We've had incidents when people got close. Okay. And Wicks were, okay. Maybe not. Let's... Oh, no, it does. Excuse me. Excuse me. The construct stares at you through lidless eyes. Ew. Okay, we need the proper key. No visitors. Hi. Ah! What have you found? What have you found? One second. What? Alof, buddy.
How may I help?
Come on, join the crew. And now I'm just gonna... What have I found that is hidden? Move, excellent.
Hey there.
Aha! It's just some mushrooms, excellent. Yeah, I need to see how big this map is. I need to see how far we can go, where we can go. Because, I mean, it's somewhat contained. Okay, there's down there. Okay. Now then, anything in these cells. Because you never know when you're gonna find hidden shit.
Lay low.
Okay. So we have down there, and then these doors. Okay. I'm thinking this looks like a laboratory. We were told to go check the office first, so let's do that. Okay, knock knock.
Be cautious. Be constant.
No one appears to be home. Oh, don't mind if I do. The Adair Empire Part 1. Again, don't mind if I
On
do.
the hunt.
You know, doesn't seem to be anything in here. Yeah, we can't actually go through this door. It's just, yo, there are wicks back there. There are wicks. Don't go too close. Okay, so let's check out what I think is probably going to be the laboratory. Oh, this was his office. They were connected. Okay, got it. Got it. Well, hello there.
I shall be discreet.
It doesn't look like there is anything hidden. Something churns and bubbles in the tank. The copper wires and conduits are shiny. The device is warm to the touch. What? Oh, those are people-sized, methinks. Those are people-sized. That is not good. Yep, they're warm to the touch. Something churns and bubbles.
This calls for a subtle touch. There. What did I tell you?
Ooh. Yeah, don't
I
mind
see
if
where
I
you're
do.
going with that. There. What did I tell you?
Yoink. A round-faced, balding man turns to face you. His upper lip is pulled upward slightly by his pointed nose, exposing his upper teeth when he scowls.
What is the meaning of this?
Ethelmoer told me you're not supposed to be doing any more experiments. I heard you were demoted. How did it happen? I'd like access to the North Ward. Are you the Animancer? I'm looking for experts on awakenings. Yeah, what are you experimenting on? Ethelmoer told me you're not supposed to be doing any more experiments. Yes, well, Ethelmoer hasn't done much good for anybody since he had his soul moved into an inanimate object, so I fail to see why I should let that sway me. If Animancers all followed the commands of their leaders, where would we be? We'd all be as backward and willfully ignorant as Red Ceres. We would know nothing about life or death or even ourselves. We would be lost in the dark with no clue as to why. I never thought I'd find myself in agreement with the statue, but Ethelmoer's right about this fellow at least. He sneers at Azo. How easily ambition masquerades as prudence. I'll bet he's even fooled himself. You toy with things beyond our comprehension. It's dangerous and foolish. It seems to me we're still in the dark. Surely there are other paths that don't involve risking lives. You're right about that much. There are certain questions that have to be asked. I've no interest in arguing about the... I do think that, this is... Ximena isn't against animancy. She comes from a country that is pro-animancy. It's just, I guess it's the type of animancy. If you're doing something that could result in someone's death, then... No, not number one. I kind of like number two because it doesn't give an opinion for one way or the other. Because here's the thing, this is supporting this guy. And I don't think Ximena would, because she doesn't know Azo. And two, it seems like, okay, you'd be doing experiments and things are going wrong, and like that doesn't seem right. So yeah, it doesn't go one way or the other. It's just like, we still have so much to learn. It seems to me we're still in the dark.
Is that a reason to stop trying? Shall we remain in the dark until the end of time and have the last breath of the last person alive be breathed in ignorance? The gods want us to know. The clues are all around us. In understanding these truths, we honor their creation.
Whale has touched this one. Heravius chirps from behind you before adding with a whisper, though I get the feeling he doesn't know it. He nods to Azo, touching his eye patch in salute. If only we studied the easy problems, we'd accomplish little and deserve even less.
Who will solve Widewen's legacy? Some church? Some warrior? It will be an Animancer, or it will be no one at all.
Have you tried your experiments on any other subjects? I have, yes. No point in lying about it, now that Ethelmoer's involved. I asked for volunteers from our patients, and a few brave souls came forward. I was very close at one time to a breakthrough. They understood that. They understood their sacrifices would mean something. Yeah, there were 4 things. And we have 4 chambers that are body-sized. Oh dear. I mean, Ximena's a nosy bitch. This isn't very well put, but she's a nosy bitch. I heard you were demoted. How did that happen? Yep. Azo's nostrils flare and he bares his upper teeth more broadly. That's none of your concern. Did one of the others put you up to this? Oudmer, that smug weasel. Things went wrong. Everything. I don't know how, I'll never know. He spits on the floor as if to remove a bitter taste from his mouth. I'd like access to the North Ward. Out of the question. Those patients are in isolation for a reason. I've seen your records, I know what you're doing with them. So you can coerce them into your experiments. Freyroll told me everything. Perception 13. Your forehead seems damp all of a sudden. Perhaps I should discuss your insubordination with the Head Warden. I've been given permission to conduct my investigation down here. You'd best cooperate. Yeah, I like this. I like this. We don't need to sort of get anyone else in trouble. We don't need to get his assistant in trouble. We don't need to get Freyroll in trouble. We can just point out that he's sweating bullets. Your forehead seems damp all of a sudden. Perhaps I should discuss your insubordination with the Head Warden.
You smug cretin. How dare you come down here and meddle? You have no idea the importance of my research.
He balls up his fist and digs his teeth into his index finger, a growl simmering beneath his breath, and a deep scowl compressing his face.
Fine. Speak to them for all the good it'll do you. I'm sure the discussions will be fascinating.
He pulls a heavy key from one of his pockets and nearly slams it down on the floor before handing it to you. Farewell. Thank you. Right. Yeah, it was up here. It was these. Are there multiple doors? Oh, no, I'm seeing things. Excuse me. Hello? Is this my face? Tell me. Okay, so that's, yeah, that's Idleman. Thundering sky, rain of blood, innocents must drown. Batixa. Ooh. Okay. This man has the look in his eyes of a hunted animal, and at your approach he staggers backward to the far corner of his cell, halfway appearing as though he would climb the walls, as if it would get him farther from you. He cries out, a bizarre primal utterance like nothing you have heard. I need to ask you some questions. You can't hide from me, leaden key spy, aggressive. Leave, never mind. Yeah. I need to ask you some questions. Graham looks at you blankly. It is unclear whether he understands you or not, but his panic has momentarily subsided. He opens his mouth to speak, but the words that come out are half-formed, as though his tongue were cut out. They are impossible for you to discern if they indeed are words at all. Aloth makes a noise of disgust. Those animancers did this to him. You can see what comes of their meddling. Azo ran experiments on you against your will, didn't he? Freyroll said you were being treated by Cadman Azo. There are things I need to know from you. I'm going to learn them, whether or not you can speak. Aggressive perception. You're afraid. Do certain visitors make you afraid? And leave, there's someone else I can talk to. You're afraid? Do certain visitors make you afraid? Oh. He looks at you with uncertainty. Slowly, tentatively, he steps closer to the front of his cell, and as he does so, for the first time you can perceive his soul within your ken. It is misshapen, as though maimed by some jagged instrument, and large expanses of it have been gouged out entirely. You feel no barriers of resistance. If you wanted to, you could look further into Graham's soul. Do it, we're nosy. You project out towards the main soul in front of you, merging with it, its confusion and fear becoming yours as it whisks you into its depths. You're in your cell. A key turns. The door creaks open on neglected hinges. Thoughts come to you in waves, incomplete, broken, fearful. Standing at the door is a rotund, balding man. His upper teeth and pointy nose remind you of a rat. He beckons, apologetic. You don't want to go. Anything else. In your mind is a single word, and the word is no, but it dissolves before it reaches your lips. You press against the back wall, cornered. You cry out. In the darkness, you fight against unseen restraints. You cannot move your arms or legs. The man walks into the room, carrying a lit candle, its meagre flame casting long shadows across books and machinery. Straps bind your arms and legs. Cold metal circumscribes the crown of your head and the breadth of your chest. The man is sorry. He is in need of raw materials. They dismantled his work and he needs another source. He needs to show them he was right. He thanks you. Then he turns a knob and you feel yourself begin to crack from within, and you can feel pieces of you torn away, like having your insides chewed by a horde of rats, and you are screaming a scream you can barely hear. We're nosy. Okay. Another night. 1 second, Another night. Heavy footsteps outside your door, coming for you. You look through a slit in your door. The flesh giant, the artificial being, just outside but facing left. Facing the end of the hall. The boy there. The boy looks with interest at the giant, then collapses to the floor like a shed snakeskin. The giant convulses for a moment, then rights itself, turns away and leaves. Graham looks at you, still wild-eyed, but somehow more present. He nods at you, then walks back to the end of his cell. So, Ximena, are you feeling okay? Did you catch alcoholism from the dear Wardens? His smile turns nervous as he looks you over, examining you for signs of injury. You were off in your own little dream for a moment. What's going on with you?
Don't fret. You'll get used to it.
Eh. Polygina shakes her head with a smile and waves her hand dismissively. Okay. So there's you. We're missing, excuse you. Yeah, you're still, like, we've got 7 days. We should be fine. Yeah, I just want to, who are we missing? This. Usgrim. The 17-year-old, that's a boy. That's a boy. It does seem... Yeah, there's nowhere else. A willowy adolescent boy stands in the centre of his cell, gawkish and stoop-shoulders. He stares straight ahead, the occasional blink his only movement, and it is unclear whether he registers your presence at all behind his glassy, doll-like eyes. In this state, the barrier between your soul and his are thin and porous, easily bypassed if you should wish it. We shall reach out. You close your eyes and edge forward towards the boy's soul, and as you near, a sudden malaise comes over you. You are cold and warm all at once, sweating and shivering and straining for breath as you did on the caravan journey. Oh, shit. The soul you approach is the wrong one, a parasitic plant that strangles its host. It is predatory and pitiless, and you have crossed paths with it before. Too late does it occur to you to retract, and already you feel yourself plunging into some indeterminable abyss of thought and memory. You are standing in a cell now, the same cell in the sanitarium. The halls are moonlit and empty, and you are waiting. At the far end of the ward, the door opens, revealing a flesh golem in silhouette beneath the stone archway. It makes its usual rounds, the same stops every time, the misbegotten child of despondent creators. When the construct is close, you coil yourself up and spring forward, passing out of the boy's body as though it were a membrane. You can sense his body behind you, collapsing to the floor, a puppet whose strings are cut. You are rushing towards the golem now, bodiless as a gust of wind. Quickly, you think to yourself, quickly, and you can feel the strength hemorrhaging from your soul as you dart forwards towards the makeshift abomination. You pass into the golem shell and overtake the soul implanted within, encircling it, suppressing it, and contained in this new vessel, you are strong again. You step heavy-footed down the corridors, unheeded by the other constructs and scrutinized only by the wary, untrustworthy eyes of the mad, coming at last to an office piled with books and scribbled papers and the perverse implements of animancy. You set your oversized hands upon a large machine, a nest of globes and tubes and coils in the centre of the room, and go to work, bending wires and unsettling alignments. Your surroundings are pulled past you, or perhaps you are pulled past them, and they dissolve into a blur. When they settle into place again, you are outside on a cleared day, standing in front of a crowd stacked high above you. There goes my timer. Stacked high above you on the tiered seats of an amphitheatre. You are acting for the crowd, standing deliberately still, but this is no play. A balding man with rodent-like features is strapping you to a machine, the one you tampered with. You see your arms for the first time, short and fleshy, unmistakably that of a little girl, but this body is not truly yours. Your mind still holds the same determination, the same hard-heartedness as before. The body itself is cold and vacuous. Unlike the others, this one has no soul of its own. The man speaks and the crowd applauds with an enthusiasm worthy of a hero's entrance. Bear witness, he says, and he pulls a lever. The machine shivers and sparks, and a bead of sweat rolls down the side of the man's brow, but the crowd's apprehension quickly gives way to awe as the crystal globe fills with radiant mist that casts the entire theatre aglow. He opens a valve, and the globe crawls through a tube along a length of copper wiring that runs to a set of electrodes beneath your armpits. You feel nothing when it reaches you, as it should be, for you've been leading his work astray periodically for some time, altering notes and settings and playing puppeteer for Hollowborn. But you make it look how people would expect it to look when a body is infused with a soul. In a moment, the machine goes dark, and the man unstraps you, eyeing you with a scientist's concern. He looks back up at the crowd. "Behold," he says, but there is an obvious hesitation in his voice. Slowly, you take a plodding step forward, then another, and another. You look up at the man, giving him the eye contact of which no Hollowborn is capable, and the crowd gasps. The man looks relieved. "How do you feel?" he asks at a volume meant for the crowd, and this is the moment. At the top of your lungs, you let out a piercing shriek. The man comes towards you, his hands outstretched, but you run the other way, back to the machine. With all your strength, you drive your head into the crystal globe, and it shatters, streaking your head with warm blood. You drive your head down onto the surface of the machine again and again, drawing panicked screams from the crowd, and by the time the man reaches you, your body has already ceased proper function and merely twitches on the cold ground. Satisfied, you depart the corpse in search of another unsuspecting host. Who could put their faith in animancy now? You are pulled again from your surroundings, transcending the boundaries of memories and lifetimes, deeper and deeper past betrayals and murders and lies upon lies that form the thick webbing of plots beyond mortal comprehension. You settle at last on a room you have seen before, expansive, with a tall device encasing an Ardra monolith at its centre. The room is filled with people, and the people all look at the device. You are yanked suddenly back into reality, and once the catatonic boy in the cell is looking directly at you, appraising, calculating. There is no mistaking now that it is the soul of the man who caused your awakening that gazes out from that borrowed husk. A watcher. And on that note, I am going to bring this episode to a close. In the next one, we have a chat with this individual. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. A special thanks to my channel members such as SM2K, Christopher K. Davies, CGG, The Named User, and Kevin Bicknell. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.